It's a pleasure for me to give you an insight is what it is to be ASHRAE president for a year. My name is Bjarne Olesen. I'm professor here at the Technical University of Denmark. And let me first start thanking my university for supporting me during the 1 year as ASHRAE president. Without this support, it would not have been possible for me. So I want to thank the Technical University of Denmark and the Department of Civil Engineering. But what is ASHRAE? ASHRAE is a global society which is trying to advance the human well-being through standards, technology for the built environment. It's an engineering society which are looking on energy efficiency, sustainability, indoor environmental quality, refrigeration, and one of the things we are doing is writing standard publications, and I will give you a short overview of the activity. As I said, we are a global society. You can see here we have members in 130 countries around the world. We are more than 56,000 members, where about 20% is outside North America. So it's clear it's dominated by members in North America. So all our individual members, it's not like it's company members, it's individual members. We are divided up in regions and chapters, and we do a lot with students. We have connection to students in many parts of the world. We have what we call student branches, and now we have more than 300. So if we look at the distribution of our chapters, which are local ASHRAE members who go together and do activities for the members in the area. And you see here we have chapters United States, North, South America, Canada, and then outside there is about 40 distributed on all the continents. I mentioned also we were divided in region. Each region, they tend to work together. They have a yearly meeting. And during my year, I was able to establish a new region here in Europe that has never had its own region. So to get more input from Europe on ASHRAE and vice versa, we hope that this region will grow and support the members in Europe. I said it was an engineering society, and when we look at the type of members, the dominant classification is consulting engineers. About 30% are consulting engineers. But we also have contractors, manufacturers, manufacturer representative, government, health and education like myself, and also architects. In fact, we are several activities to increase the cooperation with the architects around the world. So what is ASHRAE doing? We have a lot of committees who are producing a lot of our standards and other technical guidelines. So we have, for example, 130 standards and guidelines committees. We have more than 100 technical committees where our members can get involved, give their input, and also discuss with colleagues from around the world. We have many publications. We have certification programs, engineering certification. And one thing that is special also is our research program. We are one of the few engineering society who has its own research program. We spend yearly about 4.5 million on research, and I can say my own university, we have had about 8 projects over the last 10-15 years. So we have also enjoyed working on ASHRAE projects. To do all this, of course, we need a budget. We need money. Our turnover is about $30 million every year. Our main revenue streams are from the dues from the members, so all our activity has to focus on benefits for the members. But we also are supporting a big exhibition which provide us with a very substantial amount of money for our support and for our research. It's a not-for-profit organization. Most of our staff is in Atlanta. We have 128 people in Atlanta, but everything is membership driven. It's a members who are chairing all the committee, but the staff is very important for helping the whole administration. We also have a small office in Washington, D.C. And again, what happened during my year was we now have a staff in Brussels to help grow the European region, but also to be close to the European Commission. And we have a staff now in the Middle East, in Dubai. We should help set up training courses in this area. So what is an ASHRAE president doing? Well, we have, first of all, the president is chairing our board. We have a board with about 30 members, which meets about 3 times face-to-face. We also have a secretary committee with 7 people out of the board members who are doing the daily running of the society. And the president is the only one who can speak for ASHRAE. So whenever there is a need for giving an opinion from ASHRAE, the president has to give that opinion. But one of the biggest things is really to travel around, visit the members, visit conferences sponsored by ASHRAE or some of our societies we collaborate with, and exhibitions, and meeting with other societies. And of course here marketing are using the president very much, so you can find sometimes at exhibition large pictures of yourself, so you have to get used to that marketing is using you. So when you now look at the year that I was president, I visited about 52 of our chapters, where more than half was outside of North America. I made about 100, little more than 100 presentations, and to put my university on the map, I think about 80% of the presentation was related to the work that we are doing here at the Technical University of Denmark. I managed to visit about 33 countries. You see here an overview of all the places I visit in all 5 continents. And you use for all that more than 250 days on the road. So my time here at DTU was very limited during this year. ASHRAE, one of the things we have increased during this year is our relation with United Nations Environment. We have several programs together with United Nations Environment. We help them educating people on refrigerants, energy sustainability, and so on. And for this work, we were very lucky. We got an award from United Nations Environment. I received it at a Montreal Protocol meeting in Montreal. So this was a very big honor for ASHRAE to be recognized in that way. But else, normally ASHRAE is a society which gives out a lot of awards. And especially we have focused also on our student members, where we have about 33 ASHRAE scholarships. So students from around the world can apply for scholarships. And we spent during the year 17-18, so the presidential year is really from 1st of July to end of June the next year. We spent more than $164,000 for scholarships for students. We also have a student design competition every year. This year it focused on developing economies, again to support the work together with the United Nations. And we had more than 118 teams participating. And it was very good that the winners will get their award now in January 2019 in Atlanta, was a team combined of Penn State University and Technical University of Denmark. That's also one of my goals, to get students team from different parts of the world to work together. And very rewarding for me also was that I could give out award to some of my colleagues, Professor Pavel Vagocci here from DTU, and one of our former PhD students did also get an ASHRAE award. Another thing that happened during the year I was president was we got a new office in Washington, D.C. It's very important for us. We meet with a lot of other groups in Washington, D.C. The leadership are twice a year in Washington. We also opened an office in Dubai, which is going, as I mentioned earlier, to make training, education. And we now have an office in Brussels. The office is not the whole building, it's a small office in the building. Often when you travel around, you're also asked about the politics, and people are referring to the US politics and others. We don't really get involved in politics in ASHRAE, but we meet with people who are in politics. I was so lucky to visit also the Danish embassy in Washington, D.C. I visited Department of Energy, I was in the Pentagon, and also in the Senate to meet some of the representatives. During the Montreal Protocol meeting, I was also lucky to meet the Canadian Minister of Environment. But we don't go into politics, but we make a different opinion, and we give input to some of the things that is going on. As I mentioned, we have 128 people working out of Atlanta, and our head office in Atlanta, one thing I did during my year was I sold the head office. And to give kind of Danish flavor on my year, my presidential gift is, so each year the president, they have a gift they can give up when they meet other societies. So my presidential gift was in fact a Lego, which is a Danish product, model of the headquarter in Atlanta. Well, now it's sold, so this model, you can say, is not representative of our office, where we are looking for a new one. But with Lego, it's very easy, it's very sustainable. You can break it down and you can build up a new office. And I'm sure our new office will have a lot of renewable energy and will be a zero energy office. So my inspirations, and also the reason why I have got into research, is especially two people in Denmark. It's my professor at the university, P.O. Fanger, who is now in the ASHRAE Hall of Fame, but also another Dr. Brühl from the industry, which I worked with for many years. And the way I started in ASHRAE was that my professor Fanger asked me to go to an ASHRAE meeting and present the research of my PhD. And that was really the start. That was where you met people working in the same area. You could exchange ideas. And my very first presentation was in 1977. And since then, I have in fact been involved with ASHRAE. Now, at the end, going around the world, you meet many different people. People are very different. But there's one thing that's always the same where you travel in the world, and that's a smile. And as one of the Danish American comedian, Victor Borge, said, the shortest distance between two people is a smile. And that is what you experience when you go around the world. This is always the same. And can you get people to smile and laughter, you always will have a good relation. Thank you.